everyone, this is Maitreyi. I am one of the mentors at Target IAS. Welcome to the mentorship program Guru Shishya Parampara Mindful Mentoring at Target IAS. There was a workshop which we have conducted a week back regarding this program. There is an in detail explanation of this program. We'll attach a link below. Please go through that. In that workshop, I have explained about this mentorship program, how it is being conducted. And my experience in this mentorship program. I spoke about that also in that video. You can watch it. Today I'll let you know how the schedule is being divided in micro topics and how the questions are being asked and how do we maintain synchrony between the topics. For example, between polity and governance, how would we maintain synchrony while doing these topics and while doing this subject in general. So, let's get into the topic. See, this is how we micro-analyze topics. This is how generally people read also. See, regulating acts are very important. One advantage of micro-analyzing the topics is you would know that, see, in this particular section, I am not performing well. So, you would put an extra effort to do well in that particular topic. See, most of the people, they get wrong in these regulating acts. They get their MCQs or their objective questions wrong in these acts. Even in modern India, this part is there, as you all are aware about. So, when you know that you are not scoring well in this particular section, you will make sure that you will read this section once again when you are in this mentorship program. See, there are certain features we have borrowed from other countries while we are making our Indian constitution. So, those things you will get confusion, sometimes you will do wrong in certain things. So, when you microanalyze and do the topics, you will know, okay, in this particular section my accuracy is not good, so I have to read it again. So, that is how microanalysis actually help. And synchrony between topics means, see, if you are doing polity, your governance should go in hand. Suppose you are doing fundamental rights as in, and how your current affairs will also incorporate in it. There is something called as right to privacy, we all know, and that comes under the article 21. So, when you are doing this section of fundamental rights and DPSPs, definitely you would have a question which is pertinent to current issues regarding right to privacy under article 21. What are the judgments, what do you think, what is your viewpoint, and what is data protection bill? All that will definitely come under the topics when you are doing it, when there is an relevant topic which is happening in current affairs. That would cover your current affairs also when you are doing your static topics. Next one, see, to make your study easy, see, when you are doing your when you are reading president, you will read your governor together, vice president, prime minister, we will do chief ministers, and followed by other topics. See, when you are doing central council of ministers, state council of ministers, when you are doing parliament, you will do state legislature. It will make your preparation easy and interesting also. You will compare and you will read. See, Supreme Court and High Court, you will be doing them together. And certain issues which are pertaining to governance also and polity, suppose anti-defection law is there. If this particular topic requires a governance pertaining question, you will be asked here. We will cover the topics which we have not done in polity in governance. Suppose, see, you are doing the Supreme Court, High Court and all. You will have questions relating to prelims, you will have all the static part, and to mains, pertaining to mains, you will have, see, what is judicial activism, what is judicial overreach, what is the importance of PILs. So, what is the importance of tribunals, are tribunal bypassing the courts in India. That would, like, all the questions which in general need a little logic and little thinking and little of your opinion, that you would put in your mains answers. See, let us go to this test 6 which related to courts and all. See, this topic you will have MCQs and you will have mains questions pertaining to the topic based on the requirement of the topic. If the topic demands more questions, you will have more questions. It is not like we are leaving something behind just to stick to the number of questions. You will have more questions in certain topics. See, there is something called as how to judge the judges. So, what is this? Comment. See, normally in India, we don't have a proper appraisal system for judges, the performance analysis and all. In lower courts it is there, but in higher judiciary we do not have it. So, in lower courts, the district judge would compile all the performance of the judges in the district courts and lower courts, and he would submit the report to the high court. But in general, for high courts and supreme courts and for higher judiciary, there are not many mechanisms. See, in US there is something called as retention elections. In European Union there is something called as performance review. But in India, as in, we don't have it. So what are the lines to develop this? Like, what are the lines to judge the judges? There will be some suggestions, like you can maintain the record of all the judges. There is something called as AIJS, All India Judicial Service, which will provide a quality judges and quality judgments, and the justice will be delivered on time. Judge the judges by seeing their performance analysis, the rate of disposal of their cases, their logical reasoning, legal reasoning, the performance with the members of lower judiciary or the colleagues. All this would be taken into consideration when they can make a report based on that, and they can submit to the higher authorities. They can have proper strong bar councils. Okay, all this would be covered in general. See, this won't be covered in your book, standard book which you are reading. This happens with your, a little more extra effort you put when you read your newspapers, when you read your current affairs, and when you start writing questions here. See, the tests are followed by a discussion. So definitely, when you are not able to attempt it, at least you will try to attempt it here. In the discussion, we will tell you how to write the structure, how to write your intro, what are the points you have to mention in your body, and what is the conclusion. See, if we go to the MCQs, see, suppose, let's go to the question number 6. See, what it is asked, consider the following statements. Which of the above statements is or are correct? The Parliament can make rules for regulating the practice and procedure of the Supreme Court. Can Parliament make rules for regulating the practice and procedure of Supreme Court? No, it cannot. Only Supreme Court itself make rules for its practice and procedure of the court, how the court should function and all. Supreme Court would decide. So this statement is wrong. Coming to the second statement, the Parliament is not authorized to curtail the jurisdiction powers of the Supreme Court. Yes, it is not authorized. It is not authorized to curtail, but it can extend the jurisdiction of the and powers of the Supreme Court. That is there. So here the answer is only 2 is correct. First statement is wrong, only 2 is correct. See, next question. The original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court does not extend to. Does it extend to a dispute arising out of any pre-constitutional treaty, agreement, covenant, engagement or other similar instrument? No, it does not. Interstate water disputes, no, the Supreme Court don't have original jurisdiction under it. That don't come under original jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Even the matters refer to Finance Commission. So answer is D. None of them comes under the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. In this way, you have several questions. See, this one. With regard to the Article 143, consider the advisory jurisdiction. The Supreme Court must tender its advice to the President on any dispute arising out of any pre-constitutional treaty, agreement, covenant, engagement or other similar instrument. And the second option says, the opinion expressed by the Supreme Court in such case is binding on the President. So here the thing is, most of them know that this is correct. But here the thing is it binding on the President? So the answer is no, it's not binding on the President. So he can give his advice, but this is not binding on the President that he has to agree to that. See, when is it binding on the President? See, when there is a issue of removal of the UPSC chairman or SPSC state chairman, then the President would ask the Supreme Court to tender an advice. Then when Supreme Court gives the advice after constituting a committee and whatever it is, then the decision of the Supreme Court is binding on the President. In that case, it is binding, but in this case, it is not binding. See, when you do the micro-analysis of the subjects, this is very important. Say, you will cover everything in this, like most of them things will be covered. Okay. See, let's go to, I told something about synchrony between topics, right? See, we are done with polity. See, it's governance. See, this is the basic syllabus which is given in your UPSC syllabus book as in general, what constitutes the governance and social justice topics. See, government policies, all these welfare schemes and all these are there. So when we microanalyze, we make sure that you cover most of the topics. See, here few topics, they have this common ground even in ethics also. So, see, maybe ethics in governance thinkers, that covers your ethics part also. And this one, the role of civil services in democracy. Yeah, this topic is also a very important topic, both pertaining to governance and ethics. See, here I have written something. See, some of the important bodies which are not covered in polity, which means the constitutional, non-constitutional bodies which are not covered in polity will cover here. See, all those constitutional, not constitutional bodies, election commission, your state public service, UPSC, state public service commission, all these would get covered in your polity. So, we will also do the things which are in current affairs, maybe CBI appointments, CD appointments, what has happened recently. So, that would definitely get covered in your polity. So, things which we did not cover in polity like NGT, CPCB or CBFC, NABARD, all this would get covered in your governance. So, in that you will have this comprehensive understanding of topic and you will maintain the current sync with what is happening with the topic. So, I would suggest you to go through the link provided below and see the in detail workshop. Nevertheless, I will explain it in a very short way. See, this is a 6-month program. You have bi-weekly tests, a test followed by discussion. In the discussion, you have doubt clarification and you can see your performance analysis. See, what was your performance in the previous week and how have you improved in this week or not. So, what can you do to improve? What can you do to improve? See, the thing is, most of the people don't attempt answer writing. First timers, they don't attempt, actually they don't have the when you're doing your classes, you really don't get time to, but at least if you are in this program, you will attempt at least 6 to 7 mains questions in a week, right? That would definitely help you first to kill that fear, and you will also be doing your like your preparation. You would be reflect that in something called as this program. You will reflect your hard work, your viewpoints in the examination. That is for sure. See, this is how we do micro analysis for all the subjects. For any examination, consistency is the most important thing. So, when you are in this program, you will be consistent with your preparation. You will know. See, if you are just moving or just deviating from the track, we are here to just get you back. See, this is you have not attended like previous test. Why didn't you attend? So, even you will have this, like the consistency is the key for any exam, and you will be in this preparation mode till the day of your exam. So, I highly recommend to join this program and see, like my experience, I would tell you, I have seen people who have joined very recently and they are little struggling initially, like will they able to do or not, but once 2 weeks into the program, they are like they have got this confidence and they know how to present an answer and how to write an answer and how they can improve and what are the sources they have to study from. So, this Target IAS is offering Guru Shishya Parampara, a mindful mentoring at Target IAS. I would like all the, especially for newcomers and who are doing like job holders, we have separate batches for them for online and offline. So, you need not worry about I am a first timer, can I be able to do it? Yes, you can be able to do it. We will have separate batches, and first timers definitely this would help a lot because there is too much of information everywhere. You will get confused, somewhere you will be lost in the preparation. So, a program like this will definitely guide you in the right path and securing success in the examination. Thank you.